Is it better to invest in real estate in Cyprus or in Georgia? You'll find out my opinion on this in this video. Hello and welcome. My name is Florian Wilk. I have been the managing director of CMC in Cyprus for 15 years and for 8 years also in Georgia, in Tbilisi. And time and again, clients and even friends ask me, hey Florian, where should I invest? Which is more attractive? Should I buy a property as an investment in Cyprus or in Georgia? What would you recommend? And of course, my answer is it depends, obviously, but if you need something for your own use, that's a different category. Here, I'm talking purely about investments. If you're looking for an investment with an exceptionally strong rental yield and you're possibly looking for something outside the EU, then of course, Georgia is the answer. Obviously, Georgia is not in the EU and it certainly won't be for the next 20 years. That's still a long, long way off, even though it could very well happen one day. But then, of course, prices will rise. And if you, let's say, are actively looking into the vacation rental sector, especially within the luxurious segment, then I would rather recommend the beautiful island of Cyprus. So, for example, if you want to build a luxury villa or several villas, a villa park or something similar with 5, 6, 7, 8 villas or so to rent out, then Cyprus is very, very attractive. And if I want something more in the smaller segment, like 1 or 2 apartments or something like that, then Cyprus also has potential. Especially Larnaca is still very, very affordable. Other regions in Cyprus, unfortunately, are already far too expensive, in my opinion. Yes, especially Limassol, just in terms of prices, the price per square meter when buying is such that I say, I don't know if they can go any higher. I think you should already be glad if the prices remain stable. So in some cases, I wouldn't say overheated, but in some areas, the prices are already really, really stretched to the limit, I think, in Cyprus. But if you invest wisely, you can still get very, very good deals in Cyprus. Georgia is suitable for someone who might be a bit more adventurous, who is looking for particularly favorable purchase prices and is also considering the medium-term opportunities. There are 2 things that are especially interesting in Georgia. First, in my view, Tbilisi is more suitable for long-term rentals. I wouldn't really recommend vacation rentals there because in my experience, it's just not that lucrative. Or Batumi. And in Batumi, you have to be careful. For those who don't know, it's a popular holiday and recreation spot on the Black Sea coast, especially in the summer, of course. It's relatively seasonal. The downside of Batumi, the potential problem, is that a lot is being built in the low-cost segment with poor quality, but of course also very, very low prices. But I would stay away from that and really give it a very wide berth. Because the undeniable fact is you just don't get a truly sustainable or genuinely value-retaining property there. But rather, well, I don't want to explicitly say junk, but certainly something of inferior quality. And the old well-established rule absolutely applies here. You unequivocally get what you pay for, so to speak. However, there is in particular one very specific and noteworthy project in Batumi that is in an excellent location. I think this is the best location you can possibly find in the entire city. When I invest in such flagship projects, I have the great advantage that both important components come together, namely the price increase due to the location. From my point of view, that's always the decisive factor in a real estate investment. That's simply because of the location. I benefit from a price increase over the next few years. And on the other hand, of course, also attractive rental yields, especially when it comes to vacation rentals. Batumi is simply predestined for that. I wouldn't really recommend long-term rentals in Batumi. Instead, I would fully focus on vacation rentals. And especially in the luxury segment, there isn't that much available. There aren't that many high-quality hotels and vacation apartments, especially not in Batumi, where you can also meet Western standards, let's say European or American standards, where you can find the right thing. And that's where there's a certain gap and great potential if you invest there. So to return to the core question, I truly think that depending on your individual taste and personal preferences, Both of these destinations are very, very attractive and highly desirable for real estate investments, both for long-term rentals and also for short-term rentals. And especially when it comes to current prices, both Cyprus, not in all regions, as I have previously said, but certainly in some specific regions, and especially Georgia, still possess enormous potential and significant room to catch up. There will certainly be one or two more substantial upward surges in the market. And if you are seriously considering investing in a property, whether it's for personal use or as a valuable asset, then for your own use, we can help with that as well. We also have some really, really good cooperation partners, especially when it comes to investments. So please feel absolutely free to book an appointment with us, and I will actually place two very helpful links directly below this video for that specific purpose. One link is for Cyprus, if you are more interested in exploring the opportunities in Cyprus, and the other one is for Georgia, if you are genuinely interested in making a real estate investment within the beautiful country of Georgia. Feel free to let us support you with that. Personally, it's always important to me that you are successful with your investment in the long term. That's why we really only recommend top projects where you can be sure that everything will definitely be completed, that the quality is right, that the return on investment is right for the buyer, and that you're simply making a sustainable long-term investment, making an attractive investment. Because especially abroad, maybe you've already had negative experiences. There are always, and I see this regularly, developers who fail, projects that don't happen, or that are simply in a catastrophic state. Recently, someone approached me and asked if I wanted to invest in a project in Batumi. So I said, send it over to me. I'd be happy to take a look at it. And I'm always open and curious about what's being offered. And then it turned out to be Kobuleti, which is a small town 30 minutes away from Batumi. That is then certainly fine for personal use, but it has nothing to do with a great investment or a good location anymore. It actually feels like a long journey and you're far away from tourism. And if I want an investment, a return on investment, then that's completely out of the question. And it doesn't matter how cheap the price per square meter is. I simply won't get a solid return because I'll have extreme difficulty getting any vacation rentals for my property here at all. And we also have many clients whom we support with tax matters. Both in Georgia and in Cyprus, we naturally know this business, this rental business, quite well, and it always becomes clear at the end of the day, no matter how banal it sounds, the location is of course crucial here as well. And if I have the opportunity to invest in or take a look at the few top projects and then pick out the best one for myself, I think that's always the golden path where you really can't go wrong. So that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm also looking forward to your feedback and your comments. Maybe you've already had experiences in Cyprus or Georgia or invested in the real estate sector. If so, I'd really love for you to share them with me. And I'm always happy to get feedback and to engage in discussion. So thank you very much, all the best, and see you soon. Yours, Florian Wilk.